Welcome back here to Pass Your Life and Health Insurance Exam Podcast. I'm your host here, Biko. I'm glad to have you back. So I hope you guys are getting value from this podcast so far. If you're getting value from this podcast, I highly recommend that you please, subscribe, follow us, share. If you're listening to this podcast on Audible, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, I highly recommend that you also write us a review. Okay. So we're going to pick up from where we left last time. This is our new agent training. So in this training, this is part two of our training where we lay out a 3-year plan for you as a new agent. You get your license. Now what? As I said in previous episodes, about 85% of new agents will quit this insurance industry because they get frustrated. The recruiters sold them this high expectation, that, oh, they're going to just get a license and money was just going to start flowing in, but they didn't tell them all of the struggles and the obstacles. They didn't prepare them mentally, and they come in and they realize, oh crap, this is not what I expected. I didn't know selling was so difficult. And what happens is most of those people fail and they quit the insurance industry altogether. So how do you make sure that it's not you? So we're going to again stop. We're going to resume from where we left in episode one, or part one. This is part two. So now we talk in part one, we talk about your game plan for your first 1 year. I know what I share is probably what you're probably not going to hear that because it's not common, right? But I tell people, if you want to get the results of the masses, then do what the masses is doing, right? If you want to be average, then follow what everyone else is doing. But if you want to be great, if you want to succeed, then follow what the most successful 5 or 10% is doing. And with my game plan here, I will help you to not only succeed, but to be in the top 5 to 15% of insurance agents in America. So ready, set, go. So first thing here is, I hope you have a pen and paper. Again, you probably don't want to be listening to this if you're driving or you're working out or doing something else because you need to take notes. I'm about to drop some gems. I'm about to share some things that you've never heard. I'm about to share some things that you never even thought about. Some of them will not make sense to you because here's the truth. If they made sense to you, chances are you probably would have done them by now. Okay. So, what you want to do to succeed, you have to find someone who has already done what you want to do and do everything they tell you to do. Okay. Okay. So, find someone who has already achieved what you're looking to achieve and do everything that person says. For example, if I want to be a good um, basketball player, right? I want to find maybe an NBA player or find one of the greats, maybe, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. And everything LeBron tells me, everything Michael Jordan tells me, I'm going to do. I'm not going to question it, right? Or maybe if I want to be a good investor, I'm going to get someone like Warren Buffett, you know, and I'm not going to question what they tell me. I'm not going to second guess it. I'm going to do everything they say. So I've been in this for, as I said, a long time. I've seen it all. Uh, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've experienced a lot of failures. But through it all, I've been able to learn. And there are some things that I know that you don't know, or there are a lot of things I know that you don't know because you're a newbie, right? So you will be learning from my mistakes to make sure that you don't repeat the same mistakes. You're still going to learn from experience, But let's say if it's going to take you 10 years to get results, you can shorten that time. Or let's say it was going to take you 5 years to get results, you can shorten that time. So my pretty much what I'm trying to do is to shorten your runway to success. You're still going to put in some work, but if you follow everything I'm saying and everything I'm laying out, then it won't have to take you so long like most people. Or worst case, you don't have to end up like 85% of people that crash and burn. All right. So write this down. There are more people, again, I want you to write this down. There are more people who don't know. No, there are more people. All right, let me repeat that. There are more people you don't know that would like to buy from you, but the only reason they are not buying from you is because they don't know that you exist. Let me repeat. There are more people who are looking to buy from you, but do not know that you exist. That is not my quote. That is from Myron Golden, because I like to give people credit where credit is due. So why am I saying that? The mistake a lot of new agents make when we start in a business, we limit ourselves to just people we know. So I get my life insurance license. I'm only going to talk to my friends and family. But you're going to notice that your friends and family, even if you come from a large family, will not be that many. Maybe at tops, maybe 75, right? So what happens to a lot of new agents is after some time, after a couple of months, they run out of people to talk to. They've talked to their parents, they've talked to their siblings. Let's say you have one or two or three siblings, talk to their siblings. They've talked to their aunties and uncles. They've talked to their cousins. Uh, they've talked to their in-laws. They've talked to their co-workers. They've talked to their church members or people from their mosques. They've talked to their neighbors. And maybe if you know a lot of people, let's just say 100 people. But after a while, after a few months, if you're really putting in work, after a few months, you're going to notice that you're going to run out of people to sell to, people to talk to. So how do you prevent that? Here's the thing. You, with that license, you can sell if you want to. You can sell up to, you have a market out there, or I'll put this another way. You have more than 100 million potential customers. So let me repeat. Your friends and family, everybody combined, let's just say you know a lot of people. Let's say it's 100 people. What people do is to limit their focus, to limit their attention to these 100 people they know. But you have 200 potential clients, 200 million potential clients all over America, and you ignore those 200 million. And these 100 people you know, when these 100 people tell you no, or the majority of these 100 people tell you no, you throw up your hands in the air and say, oh, this thing doesn't work. It's a waste of time. I'm out. But you left on the table potential 200 million clients. I'll repeat what I told you, but this one I'm going to make it a little longer. There are more people, again, this is according to Myron Golden, a highly recommend that you take his Make More Offers challenge. I think it's every month. The next one is going to be in March, and then you have March, April, May. He has this challenge once every month. But I highly recommend that you take his challenge. We have a link to that in the description if you want to really succeed in your life insurance business. But he said, and I quote, there are more people who don't know that you exist, but that will buy from you in a heartbeat, then there are people who know you exist that will buy from you. So 100 people, those 100 people could buy from you, but that's it. If you just limit yourself to those 100 people, that is it. But you have 200 million or plus people in America that you could sell to. So even if all these 200 or 100 people if all of them tell you no, why will you lose sleep over that when you could sell to 100 or 200 million people? And I know right now your head is spinning. You're like, how is this possible? What do you mean sell to 200 million people? How can I sell to 200 million people or 100 million people? That doesn't even make sense. Yes. It doesn't make sense. That is why most people don't do it. It doesn't make sense. That is why most people don't do it. If it made sense, you are going to be doing it. If it made sense, 95% or 90% of new agents will be doing it, but it doesn't make sense. That is why the majority is not doing it. And if you do the same thing everybody is doing, or the majority of people are doing, you're going to end up with the results that majority of agents get. And what is that result? Is the majority of them don't make any sales, and they crash and burn and quit within the first 1 year. So if you don't want that to be you, you have to think differently. You have to think outside of the box, and you have to do things differently. And this is one of the things you do. Number one, do not limit yourself to people you know. Let me repeat. When it comes to selling life insurance or selling or any business, not just life insurance, do not limit yourself to just people you know. Think about it. If I want to sell, it could be anything. Let's just say I open my own barbershop. Will it make sense to just limit myself, to only market or talk to people that I know about my barbershop? If I did that, probably won't stay in business because the people I know will not be enough to support that business, to patronize that business, to get enough clients to succeed. Let's say I have my own restaurant business and I only limited myself to friends and family. Would that restaurant grow? Would that restaurant succeed? Chances are probably not. So think about it. Every single business, whether you have your dry cleaning business or you have your own mechanic shop or you have your own store or you have maybe your own online store, you're teaching people how to do stuff. Think about any business. If you just limit yourself to people you know, would that business succeed? Probably not. Would that business grow? Definitely not. So why do insurance agents do the same thing? Like you come and we just limit ourselves to people we know. And when those people, which most of the time will happen, when those people tell you no, which will probably happen the majority of the time, because again, go back and listen to part one. In part one, I listed the reason why your friends and family won't buy from you, at least in the beginning, because they don't want you to know their business. Some of them are jealous or selfish. They don't want you to make any money off them. And some of them simply don't trust you. So this is one of the reasons a lot of new agents fail, because they just limit themselves to people they know. If you want to succeed, do not limit yourself to just people you know. And I'll talk more about that as we go on in this episode. I want you to write something else down. Very important. Please write it down. This one sentence, this one statement, if you understand it very well, it could change your insurance career. It could change your insurance business. It could determine whether you succeed or fail as an insurance agent. Write this statement down. The fastest path to cash is not finding people who need it the most, but is finding people who desire it the most. Let me repeat. This is according to Myron Golden. Again, this is Myron Golden. I took one of his challenges and I wrote this down. So I'm giving credit where credit is due. This is not from me. This is Myron Golden. And he said, I quote, the fastest path to cash is not finding people who need it the most, but finding people who desire it the most. Unquote. You may say, but this doesn't make sense. What are you talking about, Biko? Let me explain. Most of the time when you're a new agent, you sincerely want to make a difference. You want, because you believe life insurance is a great thing to have, and you're on a personal crusade, just like me. When I joined, I was on a personal crusade to help as many Liberians as possible in my Liberian community in Philadelphia and southeastern Pennsylvania to get insured, because I couldn't think about it. It's like, for as little as $20 or $25 a month, you have the opportunity to create generational wealth for your family. Why won't you take it? It didn't make any sense to me. It was like common sense. And most of these people are working paycheck to paycheck. Most of them are earning less than six figures. Most of them are struggling. Life insurance is probably the easiest way. Life insurance is the easiest way to create generational wealth. The easiest and fastest way to create generational wealth for few dollars a month, 25, 50 dollars a month or $75 a month. If that's all you can afford, you have the opportunity to leave behind $500,000, $1 million cash for your family, for your children, your grandchildren. You have an opportunity to create generational wealth. Life insurance is like buying wealth. Life insurance is like buying wealth for pennies on the dollar. Why won't anybody get it? Why would anybody turn it down? That confused me for the longest time, because I got in at that time, when I got in, I was so excited. I was young, I was so, I was very, I was very pumped up. I was excited. I was willing to make a difference, ready to preach to anybody who would listen. And I would go to family member after family member, friends after friends, church member after church member, neighbors, everybody that would listen to me, trying to preach them this financial gospel that, you know what, for pennies on the dollar, your children can have a better life than you. Because even if you work 2 jobs every single day for the rest of your life, you probably won't be able to, to leave $1, $2, $3 million over to your, leave it for your family. But for pennies on the dollar, you can create generational wealth, and your kids too can create generational wealth for their kids. And that is how we start to turn the tide um, of poverty in our communities. And I thought that would make sense to anybody. And I'll go and talk to people I knew. These were people I deeply cared about, uncles, aunties, friends, extended relatives, co-workers. But to my surprise, the people who needed it the most, these were people, some of them had 3 kids. Some of them were working paycheck to paycheck. Think about it for a second. In America, for most families, even two incomes are not enough. You can have the husband and the wife working, even for 2-income households. That is still not enough. Most people, even 2-income households, they're still struggling every single month just to make ends meet. Think about that. If 2 incomes are not enough, how much more, how worse could it be if one of those income earners is dead? If you could not survive on 2 incomes, how will you survive on 1 income? This is why, according to Market Watch, most families will fall into poverty within 7 years of the breadwinner's death. Most families will fall into poverty within 7 years of the breadwinner's death if they don't have life insurance. But it doesn't have to be that way. But the crazy thing is, the people who needed it the most were the people who rejected it the most. It didn't make any sense. If you are working paycheck to paycheck, you don't even have any savings. Won't you want to have life insurance that could protect your family in the event you die? That your family will not have to suffer. They won't have to fall into poverty just because you made a poor financial decision. And I couldn't get it. So what I've realized in life, not just when it comes to life insurance, but for most things in life, and this is why I ask you to write this down, because it's very important. Know that the people who need life insurance the most will be the people who will reject it the most. So I know you care about your uncle, your auntie, your best friend. I even had one of my best friends, this was years ago. And I wish, I wish no evil on him. I pray for a long life. I pray that nothing happens to him. But this guy, I think he has 3 kids. Yeah, he has 3 kids now. Very good friend of mine. And I got into the insurance industry. I mean, I tried to talk to him. I'm like, yo, bro, you need life insurance. Think about it, man. You got 3 kids. What if something happens to you or something happens to your wife? How will your kids survive? Even with 2 incomes, you and your wife can barely pay your rent. You can barely pay your rent. Think about if one of you is out of the picture, what would that be? A month in, month out, I'll talk to this guy, and he started to get annoyed. And I remember he made a statement, Biko, I don't want to hear anything about life insurance. I don't believe in life insurance, blah, blah, blah. He went on a spew. If you continue to talk about this, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. And because of that, I had to stop talking about it. But even though this is somebody who needs life insurance, so one of the things to succeed in this industry, not just this industry, but in business in general, I want you to know that the fastest way to make money, to succeed, is to find people who desire what you are selling the most. Not the people who need it the most, but the people who desire it the most. And sometimes the people who desire it the most are not the people who need it the most. Think about it. If you go to the gym, I try to work out, before I used to work out like 6 days a week. Now sometimes months go by, I don't even work out. It's not an excuse. I need to get back in the gym. But have you ever wondered when you go to the gym, do you ever see people who really should be in the gym? Like sometimes you're walking and you look, you could see somebody like, damn, that person really needs a workout. Do you see those people in the gym? Do you see people who are obese? No, you can look at someone and tell that they're obese. Do you see people who are obese? Do you see people who are overweight in the gym? Most of the time, you don't. You'll see one or two overweight or obese people, but most of the people you see in the gym are people who, even if they didn't go to the gym, they probably won't look that bad, right? But the people who need to go to the gym the most, if people were going to the gym based on who needs it the most, all the obese, all the overweight people should be going to the gym every day, but they don't. So, what I want you to know, don't waste your time as a new agent. And I know this will be very hard to understand, it will be very hard to accept. It's a bitter truth, especially when you really care about your friends and family and you really want them to get life insurance. That is how I was. But don't waste your time on people who do not desire what you're offering. I've had so many sad stories. I could go on and on. One of my uncles, may, may his uh, may his wife's soul rest in peace. I talked to them again when I just came into the industry because I saw life insurance. I was excited about this thing. I was very idealistic. I felt that like everybody, if you're now a millionaire, and most people that I know, like the majority of the population is not no, they're not millionaires. They're not even close, right? If you're not a millionaire, you need life insurance. And I talked to this, my uncle and his then wife, may her soul rest in peace. I talked to them. They had 2 kids at the time. I talked to them. I try to give them every explanation. I even they say, okay, I couldn't, they couldn't afford cash value life insurance, which was going to be $200 a month. Okay, term insurance. I can get you a 10-year term insurance or 20-year term insurance for just $25 or $35 a month. They say, oh, we don't have money, but yet and still at that time they're paying $150 a month for cable, for their cable bill, but couldn't afford 25 or $50 a month for life insurance. It didn't make any sense. I literally pleaded with these people month in, month out, month in, month out. So a few years later, I just got a call. Oh, your auntie just passed away. She had a brain aneurysm. If they are listening to me, that was going to be 500,000 cash, even though 500,000 is not $1 million, but it would have done so much better. At that time, they had 2 young kids. One was in middle school, one was in elementary school. It would have helped in so many ways, helped to pay off the mortgage, helped to take care of them where they couldn't suffer. And because of that one financial mistake, they are still suffering as of today's day. That was just one instance. Another one, a very good friend of mine, I, you know, uh, she was the only person from her family in America. She had her parents, her siblings, everybody back home in Africa that she was supporting. And I asked her, I said, what if something happens to you? How will your parents in Africa survive? Because they're depending on you for everything, for your survival. How will your siblings in Africa survive? They're depending on you for their survival and you care about these people and you're supporting them every single month, you're sending money back home to Africa, how would they survive? Don't you think you need life insurance? I talk months, and this is someone I deeply cared about, a very good friend of mine. She turned it down, turned it down, turned it down. And she just passed away last year, unexpectedly. So I want you to remember, do not waste your time on people who do not desire what you're offering. Do not waste your time on people who do not want life insurance. I know this is hard, but focus your time and energy on people who want life insurance. And how do you find that? How do you find those people? I'm going to talk about that later. Stay tuned. Keep listening. All right. But going forward, I know you care about your friends and family and you want the best for them. But most of the time, those people need life insurance, but they're not going to desire it. They're not going to want it. Don't waste your time with them. If you want to succeed in this industry, and not just in this industry, but in any business, focus your time and energy on people who want what you're selling and not on people who don't want it. It's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of headache because when you keep pushing and pushing and pushing these people who don't want it, they will get annoyed. You will get frustrated. It will be a waste of your time and it could end up ruining your relationship. Talk to them once or twice. If they don't want it, move on. If you want the most cash in the shortest period of time, focus on people who want life insurance. Focus on people who want financial security. Focus on people who want a better financial future and not on people who don't want it. All right. So I hope I don't beat that dead horse any further. So let's continue. So next thing here. So we talked about what you do in year one. Now this is year two. So year two, assuming you did everything in year one that I outlined. If you didn't listen to that episode, go back and listen to that episode. That was part one. But year two, what you want to do now is to start to market to those 200 million people I told you about. Because there are about 100 million people in America who have no life insurance or they're underinsured. So how do you market to these people? Online, the internet. The internet. You know, the internet is such a wonderful, I think it's probably, if you ask me, I would say the internet is probably the best invention ever in the history of mankind because we have just one thing that is able to connect billions of people over the world. With the internet, you're able to communicate with people in real time. You're able to do anything. You're able to transact financial business. You're able to communicate. You're able to do so many things. The internet made life as we know it, everyday life as we know it, very easy. So one of the benefits of the internet is now you can market to people who are hundreds or thousands of miles from where you live. You don't have to see those people. You don't even have to know them, but you can be able to market your product and services to them. And you can be able to turn those people into your customers. So how do you go about doing that? Assuming you learn everything you had to learn in year one. No, again, if you didn't listen to that episode in part one, go back and listen to it. But assuming now you've learned everything, what I want you to do in year two is now start to educate people. Like, for example, what I'm doing. This is made possible by the internet, right? Because Podcasts, it's on the internet. You need internet service to to access that. So think about it. If I didn't have a podcast, you're probably listening to this on podcast or on YouTube. If I didn't have a podcast, you won't even know that I exist. So because I'm providing free content and free content that's providing you value, that is why you know who I am. So what you want to do is beginning your second year, you want to go on social media, go online. The good thing is almost all these platforms are free. YouTube is free. You don't have to pay anything to set up a YouTube account. Podcast is free. You can start off. I mean, you have a lot of free podcasts, um, platforms out there. You have Anchor. Anchor is free. You don't have to pay anything, right? So even Facebook, Instagram, all these things, TikTok is free. It's free. So what you need to start doing after you learn all those things in year one, now start to educate people. Create a YouTube channel, create a Facebook page, create um, uh, a TikTok, Instagram page. Start to provide valuable content to people free of charge. Don't charge them anything, but provide valuable content like what I'm doing. Just full disclosure, most of my clients come from either my podcast channel or the YouTube channel. That's more clients than I know. Most of my clients, they don't come from people I know, friends and family. Most of them come from either my podcast or my YouTube channel. I get calls every single week from people who I don't know from anywhere. How did they get to know me? They listen to my podcast episodes, they watch my YouTube channels, or they saw me on TikTok, or they saw me on Facebook or LinkedIn. That is the power of the internet. And the good thing is you don't have to pay for that. It's 100% free. All it will require is your time. So going forward, assuming you did everything in year one, year two, you want to be on at least 2 online platforms, one long form platform and one short form platform. What are those long form platforms? So long form just means you can put you know, you know 30 minutes or more of content on that platform. And not just that, but those platforms have they have SEO um, capabilities where people can actually search for you. Now, the other short form platforms do it too, but not as well as the long form platform. So, what are those long form platforms? You have podcasts. As I said, you can do podcasts. You can set up your podcast channel for free. You have YouTube. Again, you can set up for free, or you could do um, blogging. You could get a free WordPress website free of charge. So get at least one of these. Now, if you could do all three, the more the merrier. Like we have podcasts, we have YouTube, so we do podcast episodes every week. We have YouTube every week. We have blogs every week, so we're on all three. But in the beginning, you probably don't want to overwhelm yourself because some of you have a full-time job or you're working 2 jobs. So, but be on at least one of these. Have at least one of these. A podcast, YouTube channel or blog, and go and provide valuable content. Take all the knowledge you learned in year one and start to teach people. There are a lot of people who don't know all these little things, who don't know about the difference between term and permanent life insurance, who don't know about trust, who don't know about wills, they don't know about the tax system, they don't know about saving for college, like all these things. Again, if you're in our growth academy, you're going to learn about all these things. But your insurance marketing agency, whether you're with World Financial Group or Prime America, wherever, most of these insurance marketing companies, most of them will train you, right, free of charge, in all these things, right? So learn, and after you learn, you come and start to teach the general public. So you can teach again on one of these long form platforms. The second, now get at least one short form platform. What are those short form platforms? You have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest. Pick at least one. So it could be one or two, but at least one. So get at least one long form content. You educate people, and one short form platform. Now, if you need help with setting that up, if you want to, if this is something you want to do, you can contact us, and we can help you with your social media and all of that stuff. So that is the first thing you do, and then go on there and just teach. You may think, oh, I'm not an expert. Here's what you need to know, though. You don't need to be an expert to teach people. All you need to know is you just need to know more than the person you are teaching. So think about it. All you got to do is help someone who was where you were get to where you are. Let me repeat. All you got to do is teach someone who is where you were, right, before, who didn't know about all of these, financial concepts and, all these financial things. All you got to do is teach that person to get to be where you are. That is it. You don't have to be a Dave Ramsey. You don't have to be an expert. No, you just have to know enough to help someone to get from where you were to where you are. That is it. All right. After you do that, next thing here, again, this is, as I said, these are uncommon. You're not going to hear these anywhere, right? But this will help you to be part of the 5 to 15% of agents that succeed. And you won't just quit after your first year or second year. You can be able to, keep, stay in this industry 5, 10, 20 years. Other thing that most agents I've never heard an insurance agent talk about this, write a book. Because when you write a book on any topic in your second year, okay, write a book. It doesn't have to be a long book. It can be a 50-page book. It can be a 75-page book. For example, I've written multiple books, some 350 pages stuff. But when you write a book, even if you don't earn money from the book, what that does is it establishes you as an authority figure in your industry. Okay. So if you're a real estate agent, you write a book on real estate, it gives you certain level of authority on that subject matter. And it makes it easy because when you write a book, you are considered an expert, and it even helps you when you're trying to sell to people or trying to teach people to buy what you're trying to do. It makes it easy because now you're an expert. So those would be the things I would do in my second year. All right. Now, in part 3, because as I said, this is very long. I want to keep it under 1 hour. We don't want to go past 1 hour for most of our episodes. So in part 3, which will be in about 2 weeks from now, I'm going to share with you what you do in your third year. And the third year, what you do in your third year, boom. I'll say 99.9% of insurance agents don't do this. And this is where the money really is. This is where you really get to scale your business. This is where you get to really see that, wow, this thing has potential. And just one teaser. It has nothing to do with selling life insurance. All right. So we're going to talk about what you need to do in your third year. But if you follow everything I'm laying out here, not only will you succeed, but you'll be in the top 5 to 15% of life insurance agents. So thank you very much for listening so far. If you like what you are hearing, please like, comment, subscribe, follow. We have our YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on our podcast, then I ask you to please, check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe, because it's very pitiful right now. I think right now we just have 72 subscribers. So we need more subscribers. So subscribe, comment, share, and then we just have some things here. If you like this agent training, then what I recommend is sign up for our Growth Academy. The Growth Academy is just for new agents, and it's just $29 a month. Your first 5 days is free. All right. Your first 5 days will be free. You don't have to pay anything. It's a 5-day free trial. You come and try it. After 5 days. If you like it, you can you can keep it. If you don't like it, you can cancel your membership. But for just $29 a month, you give yourself a fighting chance to succeed in the insurance industry. You actually, it's like an investment in yourself, because I tell people investment in knowledge is the best investment anyone can make, because it pays the highest dividend. Most people don't know this. What you're learning right now, again, this is for free. So what you're getting is just a sample. It's just just an appetizer, just a little bit of what you'll get in our Growth Academy. So if you like what you're learning so far, you're going to like our Growth Academy even more. So subscribe, enroll in that membership. Again, it's just $29 a month. We have the link to that in this description. Also, you can become an affiliate. If you like if you like everything so far, become an affiliate. Share, we have self-study courses, we have textbooks, we have so many things. Share, and you could get up to 70% commission anytime someone books through your unique affiliate link. And then we also have our weekly webinar, which is every Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We have the link to the registration page. It's going to be me on there live for about 1 hour. You're going to have the opportunity to ask questions. It's going to be about how to help you succeed as an insurance agent, but before that, how to help you pass the insurance exam. Then we have the Make More Offers Challenge. Again, I talked about Myron Gordon. He's a Black guy, very successful. He's one of the best business coaches and one of the best sales coaches in all of America. He has his challenge. The next one is coming up in March. I think it's every month. So you want to sign up for that. If you sign up through our unique affiliate link, we're going to get a little referral bonus. But you, for as little as $100 a month, you can also be able to get extra training that will help you to become a successful agent. Again, we have our YouTube channel. Check it out. We have our website, menzopath.com. We have our survey. You can take the survey. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes to take the survey, and that will help us to be able to help you. And then we also have blog articles. So check out our blog articles. We have a lot of valuable content that we provide there. Last but not the least, you can also email us. So if you have any questions, you can email us. Our email is in the description. It's menzopath@menzopath.com. Or you could also text and call us. Our phone number is 202-703-3668. Again, it's 202-703-3668. So I'm excited. So we're going to have one more episode to go. We're going to come back and we're going to put a bow on this, what you need to do in year 3 and going on and going forward to help you to be part of the 15% of new agents that succeed in this business. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much for listening. If you're listening to this on our podcast, keep doing what you've been doing. If you're studying for your exam, don't give up. Keep studying. I know it's hard, but keep studying. Trust me, being in the insurance industry is worth it. And I wish you all the best on your exam if you're going to take your exam, or if you've already taken your exam and you have your license. I wish you the best in your insurance career. Until next time, Please be safe.